Okay, so Hare Krishna, welcome everyone for chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. And today is August 4th, 2024. And today is also known as what do you call? Adi Amavasya. So before that, I would like to convey my gratitude to the donors. Okay, Cheong Phuk Wing Prabhu donated 300, Ram donated 100, and Iskandar Balan donated 100. So when we have this kind of donation, usually, as I said, what we're going to do is we're going to subsidize the books. So if you think anyone who needs the book but can't afford it, don't feel shy. Just send me a message personally. I will send you the book. Okay, it's free of charge. Or you think anyone that if you think that you want some books that you want to like deliver to me, give it to others, also you can ask, you can request. And at the same time, the set of the book is worth 50 ringgit. Of course, previously there's someone donated, so that's why we could manage to bring down the price, because I just checked with the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. The current selling price of Bhagavad Gita is around 40 to 45, depends on the individual. And the shipping is cost around 14 ringgit. And of course, the set of Japamala, the chanting back and beads is what 10 ringgit. And of course, the small card, that card has been sponsored by my previous student. So that's free. So it roughly comes around 80 to 90 ringgit worth. So today we're just going to, we are distributing at 50 because it's subsidized. So with this further subsidy, further donation from all these devotees, well wishes. So I'm further reducing the price. Okay, you can have it for 40, 30, even 20. Okay, if you think, okay, you just paise, I just don't want to take it for free. Even 20, even 10 ringgit. Okay, or even 5 ringgit, or even 1 ringgit. Okay, we will. That's why it's very exciting. So that's what I do, because sometimes when they start to give this book, when they start to sponsor the book, people usually like to give it free. So what I will do, I've tried to reduce the price so it becomes very affordable for everyone. So of course, my heartfelt gratitude. And today is Adi Amavasya. I believe many Hindus, especially the one who are in ritualistic life. So what they will do is they should have gone to temple in the morning, Lord Shiva's temple, and they do this darpana. Okay, they will make small ball of rice, ghee, honey, yogurt, and sesame. They like to make into a ball, and they will do that ritual, because according to this Garuda Purana, this is the time that actually what they call the gate from Piturloka. Piturloka means it's a lower planetary system. Okay, Piturloka. I will introduce step by step what is that 14 planetary system, where do we stand, and what is that age of Brahma. Okay, the Brahma is age 50 years old, which is equivalent to human calculation is 134 trillion, 20 billion years old. And of course, he has 100 years lifespan. So like that, there's a lot of things that I will be slowly introducing, and while we are discussing on this 18 days Bhagavad Gita program. So what is that significant of this prayer, the today's festival? That's a time where the Piturloka, the planets for the forefather. Example, if some of our forefathers, we don't know what my great grandfather did. Okay, for the sake of survival, I don't know what he have done. All right, during the Japanese occupation, all right, he might have betrayed someone, and because of that, the Japanese soldiers should have killed someone, or whatever it can be. Even maybe 100 birth before me, my forefathers, they should have done some grievous sin until they couldn't get any gross body. All right, so we have the body. Okay, we got two types of body. Of course, we will discuss this also as we go on. We have these two types of body. One is gross, another one is subtle. Okay, and because of their severe karma, or even who knows that some of our forefathers should have committed suicide. Right? When a person commits suicide, he will never get this kind of gross body. So what will happen? These are the people who will be kept in Piturloka. Okay, Piturloka. Piturloka, they will be kept in Piturloka. So on this Adi Amavasya, then another thing is called Mahalaya Amavasya. On these kind of days, they say there's a time that it will be open for visitors, just like the prison, visiting days or visiting hours. So on that day, what will happen? Whatever pinda, whatever things that we offer will go straight to them. Okay, so that's the belief. Okay, they will. There's a time they will be given a chance, and of course, due to severe karma they have done, they couldn't get any kind of gross body, so they remain there in subtle form. So on this day, what happened if we offer non-vegetarian? Like sometimes they say, oh, my grandfather loved to eat back everything, mutton, chicken, beef, whatever that flies, whatever that swims, that whatever they're on four-legged, everything he whacks. So what I'll do, just to remember him, I will start to offer this kind of offering. So what will happen when you do this kind of offering? Already they are suffering from severe karmic reaction. So when we start to offer these kind of things, they're going to suffer further, and they're going to be even more miserable. Okay. So usually what they will do, they will take this pinda, the ball, as I say just now, they will take it, they will offer to Krishna, and they will offer to the forefather in the form of prashadam. Okay. Another thing is what we can do is we can go to Ganga. We take bath in Ganga. So once we take bath in Ganga, of course, it's believed that all the forefathers will be relieved. Okay, we go to Ganga, then we offer Darpana. Okay, then in Malaysia, of course, those who can afford, they go to Ganga, but all those who can't afford, they will look for this thing. And sometimes we don't know. The priests who are chanting, first of all, does he know the philosophy behind this subtle body? Because all these are mentioned in Garuda Purana. And Garuda Purana is one of the most scariest Vedas to study. Okay, scariest. That's a conversation between Garuda and Lord Vishnu. Garuda will be asking Lord Vishnu. So that's why they call Garuda Purana. Another Purana is we call Padma Purana. Padma Purana is the Purana that we are looking at all the glories, right? Glories of this thing. Padma Purana means it's a conversation between Lord Shiva and Mother Parvati. They call Padma Purana. Skanda Purana means is a what they call? It is a conversation between Lord Muruga, Kartikeya, and Lord Shiva, if I'm not mistaken. So that is what they call Puran. There'll be a discussion. So in this Garuda Purana, of course, also is mentioned about all the hellish region, what types of sin that you do, what type of hell that you will visit, and what are the types of hell that we have to suffer the consequences, and what are the hells that our forefathers are suffering. Okay, see, sometimes, as we know, when we take birth in a certain family, that means we are thrown into that particular family because we had that kind of what they call karmic reaction. Example, when a person was so like who loves to hunt, okay, he loves hunting, and he always like to remain in the jungle, right? He loves to hunt, he loves to he want to save trees, he's always with the nature, they call the naturist, all right, the conservative and all these people. So naturally what will happen, these people will take birth in jungle. Say, so when in jungle, when they take birth in the jungle, they'll go and born into the family of aborigines. Okay, like Orang Asli, Amazon, and all these like Red Indian and all these, they will take birth in that. So according to our karma, we will born into certain kind of situation. There are 400,000 types of human species, which we're going to discuss in this chapter today. All right, so I'm just giving you a synopsis. Then we will go through, I mean, what they call, then we born into certain kind of family, because we are thrown, okay, now my nature is such, so I go into that kind of family, so I will born in that and enjoy and suffer accordingly. Okay, so that's why, as what just to recap, yesterday that in chapter 2 we studied is when if we there'll be Arjuna will be asking what happened to those yogis who failed in their attempt. What will happen? Okay, first of all, what is yogi? What is yoga means? We must understand yoga means it's not the stretching exercise. You stretch your hand, stretch your leg. That's not yoga. Yoga means to link with God. Okay. Yoga means to link. To link with who? To link with God. That's why we call yoga. All right. So to link, so that means the yogi is the one who are linking himself to God. So if since today that all of you are here, we are all praying. Okay, we are reading Bhagavad Gita. We are trying to create the forgotten link, the missing link. We are trying to forget. We are trying to link back. So you are all known as the yogis. All right, not the one who goes and sits in the jungle or in the cave and meditate. You know, the yogis is the one that practicing the yoga. And what is that yoga means? To linking or trying to link himself back to God, or to recreate the missing link. So then Krishna just asked, he said, what happened to those people who failed? Example, now we all are trying to go into a perfection. We are trying to perfect ourselves. Okay, in this endeavor to perfection, say we don't make it. Okay, because of course we are conditioned. What is that condition means? That means we are programmed. Okay, example, I am an Indian. I am born in Malaysia. Okay, I am born in certain family. You know, this is my forefathers. I come in these certain things. So that means identification myself. So that is itself a conditioning. That means I've been conditioned. Okay, say like for instance, I'm seeing Elinda Ho Mataji. Hey, Elinda Ho Mataji. Okay, she is a Chinese. She's a Chinese. Okay, and Chinese, that means she has and she speaks a different language, and a diet is different with different types of diet. So that means I am conditioned. That means I am being conditioned as an Indian, and I'm seeing Elinda Ho Mataji as a Chinese. So that means that's a kind of conditioning, and we are all has been conditioned. This I'm just giving you one example, but we are conditioned in so many ways. Okay, so many ways. So and who's that? What is that conditioning? The conditioning of this material body, and the mind, the intelligence, and that ahankar, the false identification, ego. All these are conditioned. So we are all conditioned soul. Okay. So in this conditioning, we sometimes when we try to go and look for this perfection, we are trying to create some kind of environment. We are trying to improve ourselves. In that endeavor, sometimes we can make mistake. We do make mistake. Okay, to be born as a human, that's why there's a saying type to err is human. Okay. So in that mistake, so what happened if we fail halfway? Finish. I couldn't make it. Or suddenly, due to some conditioning, we get diverted away. Okay, we get diverted away. So in that kind of conditioning, so what Arjuna is asking, so what happened to these kind of people? Not everybody who go into this path will achieve success. So what Krishna says, do not worry, because in this attempt, there's no loss or diminution. Where you stop, you're going to continue from next birth. So that means the continuous, when we are continuing, that means, okay, now I give up this body, I go to the next body. Where I stopped, I'm going to continue there. And in that, maybe in this birth, I've achieved 10%. So in next birth, I'm going to continue the 11th percent onwards. Maybe next birth, I achieve up to 50%. Then again, I'll be born again and I continue. So like that, we're going to continue until we come to that perfect stage. We come to that perfect stage. So the perfect stage means that all of you will become a pure devotee. Right? Of course, it takes a lot of effort. You know, it takes a lot of effort until you come to the level of becoming really a pure devotee. And once you become a pure devotee, then you go back home, back to Godhead. That is that rule. That is that natural process. But today, by the mercy of spiritual master Srila Prabhupada, okay, he brought and he revealed the secret of Bhagavad Gita, whereby Krishna said that even in this lifetime itself, you can achieve perfection. Okay, you can achieve perfection. Even if you make the decision, you can even go back home, back to Godhead in this very birth itself. And if you don't make it, you will be still born in a family of a Brahmana or a devotee, or you will be born in a family of rich and aristocrat like Ambani. All right. So these are the things. Okay. So there is no loss of diminution. And in between, we will, even if we don't make it, we will still end up in heaven, heavenly kingdom. Of course, as a devotee, heavenly kingdom is not our choice. Okay. It's not our choice because you know why? In heavenly kingdom, you have so much of party. You have so much of enjoyment, sense gratification that you may forget your actual mission of life. All right. All this we'll discuss as we go on. Okay. So today, what we're going to do, we're going to recite that verses as usual. So after we recite the verses, please pay full attention to this class today. And end of the day, after the class over, just meditate, just pray. Oh, dear Krishna, whatever piety that I achieve today by reciting this Bhagavad Gita, by listening to this class, whatever things, let me offer it to all my forefathers. If at all you desire, please liberate them from whatever condition they are stuck in. So as you know that these people are stuck in the place Putur Yoga and without any body and in a subtle form. So when this kind of dedication you can do, you can liberate them. How? Let's look at this class today. So is it visible?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. So now we are here. We're going to discuss chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, what is the chapter of this Bhagavad Gita is called? It's called Karma Yoga. Okay. So before we start, as usual, let's close, put our hand together. Okay, in deep meditation and prayer. Of course, I know that you may not understand the prayer or the chanting, but just listen to it very attentively. Of course, this is called Mangala Charan. That means we want to invoke auspiciousness by seeking blessing from all our spiritual master, from the previous acharyas, Lord Krishna, Mother Radharani, and Gaura, Lord Gauranga. Okay, so by today's attempt, we can actually at least achieve to the level of understanding Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 to one extent. Of course, you are expected to study the book after we go through this program so that you understand the subject matter more clearly. So once you have gone through this book, if you have any question, you can ask in the group or you can even ask me personally. And through that, we create a very positive, beautiful environment of this studying this Bhagavad Gita. All right. So let's do an invocation prayer. Om Ajnanaatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Uttapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagar Jadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Paditanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namavum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaura Kada Damadaya Nagara Gramatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chadesatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet. Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. So today we're going to start our discussion on chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita. And today let's dedicate our program to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Srila Prabhupada left America with 40 rupees in his hand to through this what they call a steamship, what they call a cargo ship called Jaladuta. So he went, and on the way he had a 2 massive heart attack. So he survived that. Then after that he reached America. And once he reached America, and I tried to go around and speak to all these yoga club and all these intellectuals, the people from Indian descent, and all this, he's tried to go around and start to speak to many people. But the thing is, at that time, many people was not so receptive. Okay, they are not so receptive to Srila Prabhupada. And he was staying in this yoga club, and this yoga club actually is run by Mayavadi. What is Mayavadi means? The one who are in illusion, the one who thinks that nothing matters, the one who thinks that everything is equal, everything is same, the one who thinks that everybody, even all the devas, all the gods, everything is same. Okay, so he couldn't tolerate that kind of association. He left, and he went and he was offered a place to stay by a hippie. Okay, so he went and stayed with a hippie in a lower Bowery, the place which is no gentleman like to go and stay. It's such a horrible place, such a horrible place. And in that place of this low Bowery, he has been surrounded by all the drug addicts. You know, hippies, the one who grow long hair, right? The men and women, they don't bathe for years, and they don't believe in dressing up themselves because they say naturally, this is how I was. And nature, so they like remain naked. All these crazy guys, all on high on LSD, okay, marijuana, and this thing. So he went and stayed among them, and from there he started this ISKCON movement. Okay, he came out with a plan. He came out with a plan, a drug. He said, I got a drug. Okay, and everybody said, what? You got a drug? Yes, I got a drug. Because he saw that people, after taking drug, the next day when they start to have hangover, the hangover situation was so terrible. They'll be suffering. They're so miserable. They're having severe headache and everything. So what he did, he started to cook for them. And they'll come and eat what, 20 chapatis, 30 chapatis at one go, because they're so, hangover, they're drunk, so they eat that much. So Prabhupada was keep cooking and give it to them, prashadam. Then eventually, suddenly he got an idea. He says, I got a drug, okay, where you can stay high forever. Stay high forever? Yes. See, like the drug that you are taking is so mundane. After you take, next day you suffer from a severe hangover. But now the drug I'm going to give it to you, you're going to stay high forever. See, what drug is that? Come, let me tell you. Then he started to this thing and started to introduce this Maha Mantra called Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And through that revolution, okay, when everybody start to chant Hare Krishna, they start to achieve clarity of thinking, clarity of mind, and eventually they give up all the bad habits, including drugs and LSD and everything, without even taking, going for rehab and all these things. So they give up all this habit, and eventually all of them became a great devotee. And through that, this disciple of his, who were former hippies, they transformed them into great happies. Okay, and they spread the movement all over the world, and he's traveled the world 12 times, and I created 108 temples within 11 years, within 10 years. Within 10 years of his life, he created a big revolution. Okay. So at the same time, he also have translated this Bhagavad Gita and all this Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and he wrote so many books. It is impossible for a human feat. Okay. Even sometimes when you want to read one book itself, you're going to take days, but he translated so many books. And he was uniquely made English as a spiritual language. All this while we know that what is a spiritual language? All the Indian language, Tamil, Malayalam, Telugu, Hindi, Sanskrit, all right? All these kind of language are considered a spiritual language. Okay, spiritual. But he created English as a spiritual language, and he just translated everything in such a unique way that everyone can benefit from this learning of this Bhagavad Gita, or this the teachings of Lord Krishna. And of course, this program was inspired by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj. He's by birth is an American, and he's our governing body commission and also spiritual master. He wanted outreach program that we can create, and we can outreach, we can reach out to so many people in such a unique way. And by taking by inspiration, my dear God brother, His Grace Anadi Jagannath Prabhu of Bengaluru ISKCON, he created this program. And ever since this program was created, it started to create a big wave, especially in India and Malaysia. It creates such a big wave. So we dedicate all this program with gratitude to all these great personalities. So let's look at this verse today. Now, I would like you to really meditate in that verse. Okay, let's see what is happening here. Okay, let's see what this verse says. Okay, so he says, Maline mochanam pungsam jala snanam dine dine sakrit gita mrita snanam sangsara mala nashanam. Okay, so let's do it again. So, Maline mochanam pungsam jala snanam dine dine sakrit gita mrita snanam sangsara mala nashanam. Okay, let's see. Some of you are like from Indian background. See, what are the things that you can understand from here? Mochanam. Mochanam means moksha. Jala. Jala means what? Water. Jalam. Snanam means bathing. Okay. Then Gita, Amrita. Gita means Bhagavad Gita. Amrita means nectar. Okay. Snanam. Okay. Again, taking shower. Sangsara mala. Sangsara in Malay also we call sangsara. Suffering. Okay. So sangsara. Sangsara. Mala, nashanam. Nashanam means destroyed. So let's look at this verse here. Okay, this Gita mahatmya, what it says here, one may cleanse himself by taking a bath in water. Okay, every day we bathe, right? We bathe in water. We don't bathe in sand or in any other substance. We take a bath in water. But Lord Shiva says, but if one takes a bath, even once, only once, even once. All right. But today you're doing on the third day. Can you imagine? Even once in the sacred Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita. For him, the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Nashanam. Nasama pochi. Everything gone, destroyed. Nashanam. The word Nashanam is a very heavy word. Even in Tamil also, sometimes when we use the Nasama for this, people can't take it. They, it's quite a nasty, because such a heavy word. Totally destroy. Total destruction. Okay, Nashanam. So here it says that the dirt of material life is altogether totally vanquished. Nashanam. So here Lord Shiva is this thing. He says that reading Bhagavad Gita is equivalent to bathing in Ganga. So today, when we read Bhagavad Gita, we are actually taking Ganga Snanam. We are taking a Ganga, what they call, we are taking a bath or deep in Ganga or Ganges. All right, in that mood, imagine. So today, when you take the Snanam in Ganges water of Bhagavad Gita, and you are doing a Darpana, offering to your forefathers, Imagine what could be their great benefit. It is their great fortune to have you in this descendant, in this parampara, in this descendant. All right. They should be very grateful, and they are so fortunate to have you. And of course, it's also my great fortune that to have all of you here, that you've taken my invitation, trusting me to come and study Bhagavad Gita in a very systematic way. All right. So I'd like to thank all of you for that. Hare Krishna. Okay, now let's look at the understanding of Bhagavad Gita. Okay. This understanding of Bhagavad Gita is actually, when you look at Bhagavad Gita, there is a first 30 pages of introduction. Okay. So I also would like to request all of you to read and study the introduction. You may think, oh my God, 30 pages. No, the 30 pages, the entire things that what you should be expected to understand in Bhagavad Gita is revealed. Okay. So let's look at this introduction. So what he says here, Arjuna was in relationship with the Lord as a friend. Okay, we have understood that, right? So Arjuna was in relationship with the Lord as a friend. And of course, there is a gulf of difference. There's a big difference between this friendship and the friendship found in this material world. This is transcendental friendship, which cannot be had by everyone. Of course, we can't have it. Of course, everyone has a particular relationship with the Lord. This is something that we should always Okay, now let's see what he says here, that everyone has a particular friendship with the Lord. Okay, every one of us has some kind of particular friendship. So what does that mean? That means you and I and everyone around you, everyone, including the snake, the cockroach, the mosquito, the fly, whoever it is, everyone, every living entity has a particular relationship with the Lord. Okay, we have a particular relationship with the Lord. So in that transmigration from the fly, from that you come up, now you come to the human form of life. And in this human form of life is the only environment or situation that you could realize, or you could understand what is that lost relationship with the Lord. Okay, so we should understand. That means, in other words, from now, what we're going to think, everyone around us, they have some particular relationship with God. So we do not need to offend them, or we do not need to say anything bad or nasty about them, because their condition is such that that person acting so nastily with you or with us or whatever. You know, someone that betrays you, someone that irritates you, someone that you start to hate. You know what? Now onwards, you start not to hate people. Period. Because now you start to understand. Of course, intellectually, I understand. Yes, fair enough. But emotionally, I still can't take it. It's okay. Start with your intellectual first. So now we are actually, what the Bhagavad Gita is trying to make you, is trying to purify your intelligence. With that constant purification of the intelligence, along with chanting Hare Krishna, your emotionally, you could accept things. When you start to accept things in that way, you're going to experience tremendous peace. Like sometimes they say, I can forgive, but I cannot forget. But now the question is, why you should forgive? What is that process of forgive? You know? So now we understand from here Bhagavad Gita, because everyone has particular relationship with the Lord. That means everyone are the children of the Lord, as how you are. But the advantage is you understood and they still in denial. So from you having anger or hatred on them, now we should show compassion towards them. He's ignorance. He's ignorant. That's why he's acting like that. So when we can start to think that way, when we can start to forgive things in that way, we're going to see how your life can transform. Okay. And that relationship, now what Prabhupada is saying, and that relationship, what will happen? Is evoked by perfection of devotional service. That means, in other words, now I would like to know, what is my relationship with the Lord? Yes, what should I do? But that relationship only evoked. Evoked means what? Triggered. Evoke means what? There's something that's stuck within you. It has to be released. It has to be released. And how the thing will happen? By the perfection of devotional service. So Prabhupada used a fantastic word here. He didn't use perfected devotional service. Perfected means what? After I become perfect, then that relationship I will realize. No, he said perfection. That means what? In that process of getting perfect, you will start to evoke your relationship with the Lord. And when we go to that level of that when we start to realize that, we start to see life in a very different way. Okay, we will study that in detail. Okay, but in the present status of life, Prabhupada is saying, continuing, in our life, not only have we forgotten the Supreme Lord, but we have also forgotten what? Our eternal relationship with the Lord. We have an eternal relationship with the Lord, and we have forgotten that also. So every living being, now the word is says, okay, now see this thing, every living being, not only human. Okay, he's making a very open statement. Every living being, out of many billions and trillions of living beings. Okay, there are millions and trillions. All right, we can't even count how many things are out there. Right, out of every living being, out of the many billions and trillions of living beings. Now this is very interesting. Okay, now I would like to pay attention to this thing. Okay, yes, what he says, has a particular relationship with the Lord eternally. So we all have one type of particular relationship. So the relationship is what we have studied yesterday, right? The 5 types of relationship, all right, or devotee. That means you can be Lord's servant, you could be Lord's friend. Just imagine, it doesn't matter, whatever. So that means, in other words, we all have a particular relationship with the Lord, and that is eternally. Okay, so that is called Swarupa. Okay, so now what Prabhupada is saying, by the process, okay, process means what? It is the process. That means when we start to cook, there's a process. First we cut the vegetable, first we wash the vegetable, then we cut the vegetable, all right, then we put whatever seasoning, whatever it is, then you prepare the oil or stove, then you put inside, then you fry. So there's a process. You are processing, okay, before the end result, the process. That means on the way. Okay, by the process of what? Devotional service. Devotional service. Okay, in the process. That means, what is the process of devotional service? We are particularly doing now. We are all reading Bhagavad Gita, is also devotional service. All right, we are reading Bhagavad Gita, and we are also chanting Hare Krishna by without fail, that you are coming morning and evening. And after that, you are thinking, you are contemplating. It's also devotional service. Right? So by the process of devotional service, Prabhupada says, one can revive that Swarupa. What does that revive means? The word revive, we have to look into it. Revival. Okay? Revival. What does it revival means? In other words, when a person faint, okay? When a person faint.
Another Linda. Keep the chocolate and strawberry.
Okay,
But
Rajina
this
Mataji.
ice cream, right? It's not a...
Okay. Right. You unmuted, Mataji. So now, so we can revive the Swarupa. Okay, now let's look at it. What does that revival means? Say today I faint. Suddenly when you see a person fainted. Okay, maybe somebody can have, let's have a conversation now. So anyone like to share? What does that revival means? Example, today I faint, or say someone faint, and you try to sprinkle water on their face. He comes back to consciousness. What do you call that? Anyone like to help me? Yamuna, I think, Yamuna, are you a doctor, right? Are you a doctor, Yamuna? Is there any doctor in the house?
Yes, Prabhu, studying for doctor.
Oh,
Kirbashni.
good. Okay, Kripashni. Now I want
Yes,
to test
Prabhu.
your. I want to you are studying it.
Okay.
Okay, now you see a patient, right?
Yeah.
Comes into the ER,
Okay.
and that person when unconscious, you check the pulse. Suddenly the pulse is not there. So what you should do?
You
Don't
should
tell
try
me.
to. Sorry?
No, don't tell me you're going to pack him and send to mortuary.
Oh, no. You must give a try first.
What to do?
Okay, first thing is we need to revive them back, obviously. So we try to restore back.
Okay, revive. You say the word revive.
Exactly.
What does revive means?
To bring him back to life, to bring back the systems that have already stopped.
Correct.
Try to evoke them.
Revive. So that means, in other words, the person was alive before, and in between, he seems not breathing. So by all this procedure, you are trying to bring him back to life. It's called revive. Yes or not?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, now when you talk about person who fainted, so what is the procedure?
Okay, so for a person who fainted, first thing is you need to check their blood pressure.
Okay.
Okay, so after you check their blood pressure, if their heartbeat is going down, then you give this kind of certain drug, for an example, known as adrenaline. So it will help to revive back bring back their heart rate.
Okay, now you use the word revive again, right?
Exactly.
What is revive? That means that person who had conscious, in between he become unconscious. So you bring him back to the conscious. Yes or not?
Yes, correct.
Thank you, Kripashni. So
Welcome,
what
Prabhu.
from this word revive the Swarupa? What does that mean? Why I'm making this point? I want really of you to think and ponder on this subject. This revive means that person were conscious, and in between he heard some new palm, he fainted, he became unconscious. So that they sprinkle water, whatever procedure that Kripashni said, and you bring him back to life, bring him back to conscious, is called revival. So in other words, we were all spiritual with a relationship with, we have a personal relationship with Krishna. We were, and now in interim, we have forgotten that relationship. And now we have to be revived back because we had it before and now we have forgotten. So we have to revive it back now, back to our original consciousness. You all understand what I'm saying? Any one of you confused? You all okay?
Yes, Prabhu.
Very good. Okay. So that means you understand. So revival means the thing that I have lost it, that I had it. Now in between, I have forgotten it. And now I'm going to bring it back out. So this is what they call, by the process of devotional service, one can revive that Swarupa. You understand? So now you are all under the process of revival. Okay, and that stage is called Swarupa Siddhi. What does that mean? Perfection of one's constitutional position. Look at Prabhupada's genius words that he used. Perfection of what? One's constitutional position. Remember that I have explained to you what is constitution before yesterday. Okay, I don't know whether I've said that or not. But constitution means what? Perlembagaan. In a country, when they create, they have a perlembagaan. That means nobody can change it. No matter what, this government or that government, they cannot change it. You know, like what the constitution right in Malaysia, you can have the vernacular school, you can have Tamil and Chinese school. No one can change it. Whatever government can't say, no, we want to change, cannot, because it's constitution. So that means as a human being, as a living entity, we have our constitution. That what is our constitution? As a servant. Remember the day we asked, yesterday we saying, we are serving others, no matter what. So that's a constitutional position. So now, and our constitutional position is always to have relation. We were with Krishna before. So now what it says, one can revive that Swarupa, and that stage is called Swarupa Siddhi. And that Swarupa Siddhi means perfection of one's constitutional position. So Arjuna was a devotee and he was in touch with the Supreme in friendship. Any questions so far? No question? Okay. Okay, now let's move on. So now, okay, so okay, so today we're going to speak on Karma Yoga. Why is it running away? Okay, Karma Yoga. So what is Karma Yoga means? Karma means activity. As we all have studied before, right? We have spoke about it. Karma means activity. Okay. And yoga means to link with God. How are we going to do Karma Yoga in chapter 3? Okay, let's see. Okay, now 3.1. So now Arjuna's doubt on renunciation of work or work in devotion. Okay, let's look at this. Okay, as I said, I will recite the verse. You recite behind. Of course, try to keep yourself mute. And try to, okay. Arjuna Vacha means now Arjuna start to speak. Vacha means spoke. Okay. Arjuna Vacha Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Gore Mang Niyojayasi Keshava. So Arjuna is still asking that question, but he's still depressed. He's still sad. Jayasi Chet Karmanaste Mata Buddhir Janardana Tat Kim Karmani Gore Mang Niyojayasi Keshava. Arjuna said, oh Janardana, oh Keshava, why you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? If you think intelligence is better than fruitive work. So the word, when you look here, can you see the word gore? Agora. Have you heard about agore? Agori. You know, the people in Kasi, right? They are look so, gore means horrible, ghastly, scary. You know, there's people, agori, there's a kind of people who loves to eat the dead human, cannibal. Right? So that's why he says. So what Krishna is using this, Arjuna is saying, he's using the word tatkit karmani. Karma means activity which is gore, which is so ghastly, horrible. Why? Why do you want Janardana? Oh, Keshava, why do you want to engage me in this ghastly warfare? Because you know why? Everyone going to get killed. That's Kshatriya Dharma. They can never give up. Why? If you think intelligence better than fruitive work. So he asked that question. And now see what Krishna replies. Vyamishreneva vakyena buddhing moha yashiva me tat ekang vada nishchitya yena shreyoham apnuyam. So Arjuna is saying, my intelligence is bewildered. Bewildered, that means he's confused. Bewildered by your equivocal instruction. Equivocal means that he's saying this, saying that. I'm confused. Therefore, please tell me what? Decisively, which will be the most beneficial for me. So he's not asking, please tell me or please suggest me what is the best for me. What is that good for me? What is beneficial for me? He didn't say that. What Arjuna is saying, please tell me decisively, make a decision, firmly tell me. Because they are in the middle of the warfare. They have no time to sit and chat. And of course, Arjuna is surrendered to Krishna. Arjuna is now become the disciple of Krishna. So he's begging, please tell me decisively, strongly, which will be the most beneficial. So Krishna, Arjuna is asking, the most beneficial. He's not asking which is better. He said the most beneficial. 3.4. Now, Arjuna is, Krishna is replying. Of course, in between 3.3, there's another conversation, but we are just jumping. We are going to the core. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Na Karmanang Anaramban Naiskarmyang Purushoshnute Nacha Sanyasanat Eva Siddhing Samadhi Gacchati. Na karmanang anaramban naishkarmyang purusho snute na cha sanyasanat eva siddhing samadhi gacchati. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Lord Sri Krishna said, not by merely abstaining. That means what? Not doing, abstaining, staying away from work can one achieve freedom. All right? From reaction. Nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. In other words, not by merely abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. So that means, in other words, like some people say, because he wants to give up everything and go to the jungle and meditate. He's trying to abstain from work. And he thought by not doing his duty, he can achieve freedom from the reaction. The karmic reaction. He wants to stay away. You know, I don't want to kill my family. I'd rather go to the jungle and meditate. So I'm trying to abstain myself. So Krishna is saying, not by doing that, you will never achieve, you can achieve freedom from reaction. You still have to go through reaction. Nor by renunciation alone. That means give up everything, become sannyasi. Sannyasanat eva. Nacha sannyasanat eva. So that means becoming sannyasi. Renounce everything. Turavi. In Tamil we call Turavi. Turavi. Alone can one attain perfection. These two doesn't work. Okay. So verse 5 to 7. So what Krishna is saying, everyone is forced to act helplessly. Everyone is forced to help helplessly according to the qualities he has acquired. Remember, as I said just now. So all of us are, just give me a second. Why these things like this? So what it says here, everyone is forced to act helplessly. Do you know that all of us are helpless? Okay. Things just happen. All right. Things are sometimes not within our control. So all of us are forced to act helplessly according to the qualities. According to the qualities, how? What are the qualities? The quality of life. Let me say, like, for instance, I'm born in a very rich and aristocrat family. So I am acting helplessly, enjoying the fortune. By the same time, I've created a quality. You know, I've made some things, and I'm born into the family of a beggar. So helplessly, I need to take the plate and go and sit by the roadside with some grim face and ask for mercy and money. So acting helplessly. And some of what Krishna says here, forced. You're forced to act according to the qualities.
Yeah.
Yep. Someone saying something? So, qualities is acquired from where? Where we acquire the qualities? The modes of material nature. Okay, the mode of material nature means we have three kind of more: goodness, passion, ignorance, which we will discuss in detail from chapter 16, 17. 15, 16, 17, we will discuss that in very much detail. Okay, now, but what we say, according to the qualities is acquired from the modes of material nature. Therefore, no one can refrain from doing something. That means no one can not do something. That means they have to act something. No one can refrain himself. They cannot control himself, right? Not even for a moment. Can we all just stay still for a second, for a moment? Cannot. Because Arjuna wanted to meditate. He wanted to become a Tava Munivar. He wanted to become a yogi. He wanted to go into the jungle. He said, can you just refrain from not doing something even for a moment? Can or not? When we try to meditate, we are putting our leg, we are putting the hand, suddenly one bee or fly will come. Oh, what is this? You know, at that time, you know, your mind, even your mind, you cannot even keep your mind from not thinking. Right? So not even for a moment. So now after that, in number 6, text 6, it says, one who restrains the senses of action, but whose mind dwells on sense object, certainly deludes himself and is called a pretender. Now let's look at this. Very important. One who restrains his sense. Like sometimes I've seen people who have taken fasting, have taken a vow. Okay? Taken a vow. Okay, I give a good example. Like I've seen, like some of my friends who have taken vow for Ayyappan. Okay, there's a kind of prayer. They all wear black and everything. 40 days, they'll refrain from everything. Okay. So what happened? They will they control themselves. They'll be in a strict vow. They'll be vegetarian. They eat once a day. They sleep on the floor. They don't wear shoes. All right. They all will be in one attire. They don't shave. All right. They are in so much of austerity. Okay. They are trying to restrain themselves. But while restraining themselves, but deep in their meditation, they will be thinking about biryani when they become hungry. Okay. They'll start to meditate about the food. Oh my God, if only if I have something like this. Never mind, another 30 days to go. Okay, control, 30 days to go. Right? Oh, okay. Then we do a countdown. Okay, before, after that 40 days fasting, they have something, that kind of puja, they call Iduman puja or something like that. The day they break fast. Oh my God, you should see the way they enjoy their life. Unbelievable. All the things that they have been controlling for 40 days, on the day they break, they whack everything. Okay, because I was invited. I went there. I said, hey, 40 days being a vegetarian, how could you eat all these things? Oh, I've been waiting for this. So that means he said, those who restrain the senses, sense action, but the mind dwells in that. Oh, okay, I'm controlling myself, but my mind's thinking about it. Okay, now. Okay. Certainly deludes him. That means he's cheating himself. And Krishna says he's called a pretender. How can we apply this in our life? Suddenly, after coming to this program, you start to say, yes, from now onwards, I'm going to be a vegetarian. Yes. Right? I'm going to be a vegetarian. It always happens. Okay. I'm going to be a vegetarian. Huh? So you go back and tell your wife, tell your children, from now onwards, I'm a vegetarian. Okay. So, but after you start to become vegetarian, when you start to eat this, suddenly your wife will be cooking something, the smell will come. Oh my God. What is that? Oh, okay, no, I'm a vegetarian. No, I'm not going to touch it. Yeah, I'm not going to touch it. Then again, suddenly she cooks something else. Right? The smell will come down. Oh my God, what is this? Omelette. Oh, I love omelette. Oh, I'm telling you from my own experience. And also experience some of my devotee friends. All right. Omelette. Okay. Then after that, they say, then they try 1 day, 5 days, 15, 20, 30, 6 months, 1 year. All right. Until they come to the level. And now, when you look at the Facebook, all these stupid things, now they came out with this called foodie. They cook all kind of nonsense food, even to increase your desire. Sure. I don't understand what the word sure. Mama will be telling you, sur, all these kind of things. So people say, oh, I cannot. And one day when he breaks, he go there, he eats everything. Okay. Egg, mutton, chicken, beef, everything that flies, everything that swims, everything that walks on earth, eat everything. Right? In a medical term, what they call that? Kribashni, what they call that? If a person who gives up a bad habit like smoking and drinking, relapse, right?
Relapse, yeah. Correct, Prabhu.
So relapse, it will relapse. You might be wondering what this guy is up to. Maybe some of you thinking, hey, I come for this program, definitely Padita Tarra are going to ask me to become a vegetarian, ask me to do this, no, I'm not going to tell any of this. I'm not going to ask you to do all this. Because you must understand, Krishna says very clearly, if one who restrains his senses, action, but whose mind still dwells in that sense object, he is deluding, is cheating himself, and he's a pretender. So what should I do now? Okay? Of course, being a vegetarian is good. Health-wise is good. Because the meat that you eat, actually you're eating a dead body, carcass. You're eating a carcass. And where the carcass came from? The carcass is a combination of semen, sperm, and ovum of an animal. The male animal injected that semen into the female animal, and the thing went to ovulation, and from that ovulation it start to become pregnant, and it was having all the things. Then after that, delivered, just like how a human child is delivered. All right. So what do? You just take the life away and eating the meat. Oh my God, disgusting. I mean, I'm not asking you, I'm not convincing you, but I'm just telling. Okay, it's my conviction. You are eating a carcass and you are making your stomach as a graveyard. But your sense of tongue is so powerful. So what should I do now? All right. So you should always chant Hare Krishna and read Bhagavad Gita. Trust me. Don't stop. Don't stop. If you are on, just do it. Go for it. Don't cheat yourself. You're going to put yourself in miserable condition. So you should always have the thought, it's a carcass, it's a dead body, and I'm eating a thing that is dead, marinating it, putting some spices, frying it, baking it, or grilling it, and I'm eating a dead body. All right? Keep that in your mind. But when you can quit, that's why what Prabhupada says, when you go on chanting Hare Krishna, when you are reading this Bhagavad Gita and everything, you will get higher taste. When you get a higher taste, this kind of mundane taste, which is so nasty, will go by itself. So the process of you becoming a vegetarian, giving up this alcohol and cigarettes and all, should be natural. It will go by itself. When you start to get higher taste. Okay, give you one good example. Maybe once upon a time, you are living in a wooden house. You might be living in a wooden house. In that wooden house, we were living, and we had a well at the side, and the toilet, the wooden toilet, you have to go and go and do your business, and in a tong, like that. But after that, you start to evolve. From that wooden house, you come to that some brick house, and now you're living in a taman where everything is automated. That means nobody need to carry your feces, and you just go to try flush, everything goes there. Nothing you need to do, just everything this thing. Now, after you come to that level, if you get a chance, can you still go back to your wooden house and live that life, the austere life? We can't, right? We cannot go back to the wooden house and stay in that place. We try to bathe with the well water, go to the toilet with a tongue at the bottom. We can't do it. Why? Because you have already upgraded. Once you move on, the thing at the past, you give up. Maybe you can just give and have a look. That's it. But you can't, right? So similarly, when you start to have higher taste, all this mundane taste will leave by itself, will go by itself, right? Everything will go by itself. So once the thing goes by itself, it remains gone in your life. All right? It remains gone. That means once I give up that taste of meat or taste of egg or taste of alcohol and all these things, once I have got that higher taste, the mundane lower taste will go naturally. When the thing goes naturally, it will be gone forever and it will never come back to you. So that is the way of doing it. But I also like to tell you something. Don't take long. Okay. I wait for my higher taste. Okay, I'll take my time. Of course, eating all these foods are very, very nasty. We will speak about it in chapter 17, if I'm not mistaken. Right? The food, what is the mood? Goodness, passion, ignorance. So what are the things that we eat and how we suffer and enjoy accordingly? All right. Okay. Now let's look at 7. On the other hand, now Krishna is saying very nicely, if a sincere person tries to control the active senses, he's trying to control his active, that means active tongue. Tongue is looking, ears want to see, the eyes want to see. Try to control his active senses. How? By the mind, and begins karma yoga in Krishna consciousness. Without attachment, he is far superior. Or that means, in other words, if at all a sincere person try to control the active senses, okay, by the mind, and begins karma yoga. So that's what we're going to discuss. Karma yoga, what you should do without attachment. Okay, why we shouldn't have attachment. So it's far better. That means when you are trying to attempt yourself to give up all these nasty habit by engaging yourself in chanting and reading Bhagavad Gita, is far better than some people who try to okay, I need to give up because of health reason. No, they will never make it. Right? So that's what it meant. All right. So this is example. Karmendriya Sangyamya Ya Aste Manasa Smaran Indriyartan Vimudatma Mityachara Sa Uchyate. As I say, the one who restrains the sense object but whose mind dwells on the sense object certainly deludes himself and is called pretender. Look at this Swami, sadhu in India. Okay, that's Kundala. This is the thing that usually the sannyasi will carry, Kundala. All right. And look, he got a nice, he got some silver this thing, and he's on the phone with a cigarette. So these are the sadhus who try to control himself, and these are the pretenders. Okay. Okay. So now let's look at this. Yagna tat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tat artang karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. 3.9. This was 3.9. What it says? Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Okay. Has to be performed. That means work done as a sacrifice. Okay. We have to do it. Okay. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Okay, so work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Okay, by the way, I would like to ask your permission. Since today is Sunday, can we just go on and take a little longer time? Because it's going to be a very interesting topic to discuss. But if not, we will finish it within that 9:30. Hare Krishna. Everyone is there?
Can Prabhu, no problem.
Okay, everyone is okay, yeah? Okay, so Krupashni speaking on behalf of everybody. All right, if you can't, just send me a message. Okay, so now it says work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu. Okay, sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Okay, because we are getting everything from the Lord, the sacrifice has to be done. Otherwise, the work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty. Do your job as a soldier for his satisfaction, for the satisfaction of the Lord. And in that way, and through that way, you will always remain free from bondage. Example. Now, okay, I got a message. Something wrong with my... no problem. Okay. Right. Okay, thank you. But something wrong with my mouse. Why is it running so? Just give me a second. I'll try to use this another mouse. So now, yes, Prabhu, Chong Prabhu, you raised your hand.
Yeah, Prabhu, where does the prescribed duty come from into our life?
Okay, that's what I'm going to explain now. Okay, so what does a prescribed duty means? So sometimes we should be in any of these, what do you call, duty. Example, see what you're working as, say like if you're a doctor, that's your prescribed duty. All right, if you are an engineer or whatever job that you do, that's your prescribed duty. Okay, because in those days, their prescribed duty comes in the generation. That means the cook, they comes in that way. But now, of course, the job that we do, right? So like example, okay, what does it mean work done by sacrifice for Vishnu? Sacrifice means what? Okay, sacrifice means to sacrifice our whatever things that we have for the satisfaction of the Lord. Okay, so when we can sacrifice, example, okay, give you a very simple example. Now, you are going to work. Okay, you are going to work. Example, let's see. Anyone can share? We're working as what? Is Skanda Balan Prabhu, you're working as what, Prabhu?
I'm actually retired now, Prabhu. I am been a trainer.
Trainer?
Trainer.
What trainer?
For technical operations.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, now let's take Skanda Balan Prabhu as an example. Now, Skanda Balan Prabhu, he is a trainer. Okay, of course, before and now he's retired. Okay, so Skanda Balan Prabhu, what he does, he goes to work in the morning. He gets up, he get ready, he put on his nice fine clothes with all the perfumes and all these things. He come out, have his quick bite breakfast. He get into the car, he pours petrol, he drives to work and goes to work. He prepare all his module, whatever things that he's going to teach. Then after that, he go and give a talk, some operational stuff. I think Prabhu said he's teaching on some operation. So, okay, so he start to train all the boys and girls, students or worker, whatever. He start to train them. And after that, he finishes his training, say by 5, 6 o'clock. He pack up, he come back home. Okay, come back to his house. So now the question is, what this Prabhu is doing, maybe he works maybe 5 days because training usually on the weekend. So maybe he say Monday or say he works for 5 to 6 days a week for 1 month. Now the question is, Prabhu, are you doing a devotional service? Or is it is that devotional service?
It is, in my opinion, is a devotional service but not putting Krishna in the center, but devotional service in the sense that the job prescription you're given, and that's what you're doing, and you're prescribed for training people for their own betterment.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, the getting up in the morning, getting ready, going to work, teaching people, which is not Krishna conscious topic. Yes or not?
That's right. It is not.
So consider devotional service. Or is it you're doing your job?
Just doing my job, and not putting Krishna in
Devotional service, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, now, so what happened when Prabhu works for 30 days, end of the month, he get paid. Okay, he get paid. So what he does, from that salary that he earns, he take a small amount of that salary and offer it to Krishna as a sacrifice. Okay, if some of you, those who are not aware, what happened is there is so where was I? Okay, now like we in Hare Krishna, what we do when we cook all these items, vegetarian, without onion and garlic. We cook it nicely. We put a tulsi and we offer it to Krishna. And we take it as remnants, which is called prasadam. Prasadam means mercy. Okay. So when we cook, okay, we might cook in a big pot of rice, pot of curry, pot of vegetables and all this. So when we offer to Krishna, we don't take the whole pot and put it in front of Krishna. Okay, we don't take the entire pot and put it. We only take a small portion of rice, small portion of vegetable, small portion of curry, and we offer it to Krishna in a very respectful way. And I beg Krishna, please, Krishna, kindly accept the food, bless the food. So I will take your remnant as prasada. So when he offered a small portion from that big pot, the entire preparation becomes prasadam, mercy. You understand? Who don't understand? Everyone understand?
Understand?
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Prabhu.
Okay. Now, what is Skanda Balan Prabhu is doing? He earns his income, whatever X money he's earning. From his income, he take a small portion, maybe 10 ringgit, 50 ringgit, or 100 ringgit, or whatever amount that he feels comfortable, and he offer it to Krishna. So when a small portion of income that which is exchanging that income with his life, blood, sweat, yes or not? He takes that income and take a small portion of that income and offer it to Krishna. And you know what happened? The entire money that he earns become prasadam, become mercy. And his attempt 30 days working in his office, which is not Krishna conscious, becomes devotional service. Can you imagine? The entire work becomes devotional service. Okay, so that means he goes to work. You might be thinking, why am I going to work for what? Anyway, his attempt is equivalent that is performing devotional service. He's going to work his devotional service. He's talking to people, he's training up people which is not related to Krishna, still becomes devotional service. Because the fruit of his labor, he is taking it and offering it to Krishna. So that's what we do. All right. So now Prabhu have sponsored a little amount, 100 ringgit. Of course, that 100 ringgit, it becomes all that things that you have created becomes sanctified. You understand? So that's why he says, example, this is one example I'm saying. So when you sacrifice, like for instance, like what the sacrifice that what I encourage is distributing Bhagavad Gita. Nothing is far superior than distributing Bhagavad Gita, because Bhagavad Gita will change life. I've done this so many years and I've seen so many transformation happen from nowhere to somewhere. So work done is okay. So if you don't do that, example, oh, I take all the money, I keep it in my pocket, I enjoy or suffer accordingly, and that causes bondage in this material world. Also, that's what Krishna says, oh, therefore, perform your prescribed duty. Do your job for his satisfaction. And that way, he will remain free from bondage. Now, there's a question. There's one someone asked me, you know what, Prabhu? I say, oh, you know what, Mr. Padita Tarana? Yes, I'm a butcher. I'm a butcher. And I have a chicken farm. I got a chicken slaughter place in the market. So, end of the month, I'll take the money and give it to you. So, can it be my butchering, cutting the meat into pieces and slaughtering chicken becomes devotional service? He cornered me. I say, oh my God, what a question. We must understand. Krishna says in Bhagavad, of course, we will study that as we go on. The food that you offer to Krishna, he said, everything that you give away, everything that you eat, everything you give away, whatever things, offer it to me first. So that means, that doesn't mean that I can bring Kentucky Fried Chicken and offer to Krishna. Cannot. So there is particular thing. That means I have to take the pure vegetable, all these I have to offer to Krishna. Yes. I cannot bring meat and egg and to offer to Krishna. Because Krishna says, you bring it everything. There is restriction. Similarly, there is work, of course, but when you going to give the money that you earn from this bad karmic job, you will get some kind of purification. At least your path into bhakti has triggered. So even that you give up this body, you go to the next body in your next birth, you will continue where you stop. All right. So that is what this karma yoga topic is all about. So just do your job. Don't expect anything at the back. Okay. Example. Now you look at this. All right. Now, okay. Now when you look at this, okay. We have this thing called, okay, revision. Okay. Convict. Having a knife and threatening people is a criminal offense. Okay. So you see a convict, a criminal is taking the knife and threatening people is offense. But at the same time, the doctor uses the knife to cut to save people. This is dharmic. This is adharmic. Now, when you look at the terrorist carries the gun, this is adharmic. But at the same time, the army uses the gun to protect. It is dharmic. So we should know in what kind of situation I am. I cannot say that I bring the butcher, I'm a butcher and I offer some money to you, all become to know. It's not that way. I hope you all understand this. Okay. Okay. Now let's look at 3:10. Anyway, what's the time now? Oh boy, it's going to be 9. Wow. Do you want to take a short break? Now it's 54. You want to take at least 2 minutes break?
Fine.
Can, Prabhu.
Yeah, okay. So take a 2 minutes break, stretch yourself. Of course, this is a very interesting topic. I didn't see because my phone was not with me. I didn't see the time. Okay. Let's take now is the time is 55. Okay. Take 2 or 3 minutes break. Get up, stretch yourself, have something to drink, and come back. Hare Krishna. Okay. Okay. Now let's continue. Chapter 3, text 10. Sahayakna praja sristva purovacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam esha vostva istakamaduk. Okay, so what it says here, in the beginning of creation, okay, when the creation started in the beginning, okay, in the beginning of creation, the lot of all creatures, okay, all creatures, that means all living entity, sent forth generation of men and devas, demigods, along with sacrifice for Vishnu, and bless them by saying, be thou happy by yajna, sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you everything desirable for living happily and achieving liberation. Okay, so when we look at this yagya, the fire sacrifice that we do, in any fire sacrifice, the word that they end is swaha. Yes or not? All right. So these things swaha, they chant one mantra, end of the day they say swaha. What is swaha means? Swaha means feeding to the tongue of Vishnu. That means the fire is the tongue. When we offer the ghee, we offer the grains. Swaha means we are offering to the tongue of Vishnu. So this kind of sacrifice has to go on. Okay, this kind of sacrifice has to go on because this is how the process. That means it's like what do you call the sacrifice? Okay, that means this kind of sacrifice bestows. Okay, it blesses people with everything desirable for living entity. Example, say sometimes when we start to do this kind of yagya, certain yagya, okay, when we have marriage or whatever, so we are doing this fire sacrifice to please the Lord and so that everyone can be pleased. 3:11. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu va parasparang bhavayantaha shreya param avapshyata. Okay, now what he says, the demigods or the devas being pleased by sacrifice, when they are pleased by sacrifice, will also please you, and thus by cooperation between the man and the demigods or devas, prosperity will reign for all. Okay, so this is the thing that we must perform. Like example, when we worship Pongal, right? Why we are doing this? We are doing that. We cooked. We offering to the sun, Surya. Then we are also what they call cooking the pot, earthen pot. So like that. So that means this kind of sacrifice is called like how we are showing our gratitude. Okay. So by doing this, they are pleased. And of course, we as a human being, we also pleased. Okay. Now let's look at karma kanda. Karma kanda means which is the act which is materially motivated. Okay. Annat bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhava yaknat bhavati parjanyo yakna karma samudbhavaha. What does that mean? All living bodies subsist of food grains. That means every living body, every human being, or every living entity, they subside. That means they live by the food grain, and which are produced from the rain. Okay, when there's no rain, there's no rice, there's no wheat, and all these things. So rains are produced by performance of yagya, sacrifice, and yagya is born by the prescribed duty. So, in other words, so what are the yagya? What is the Kali Yuga yagya? In now, what we can do? Okay, we will discuss this later. But actually, we are the performance of yagya must go on, because the performance, like when you look at that, there's a scientifically said that when you take a pure ghee and put in the fire, it creates a kind of like what Cheong Prabhu, CS Prabhu was telling. It makes the house, purifies the house. At the same time, it also can induce rain. They can induce rain. Okay, we will study this as we go on. So, but the sinful life. So let's look at the sinful life. What is the sinful life is? Okay. Evang pravartitang chakram nanu vartaya yatihaya agayur indriyaramo mogang partha sajivati. 3:16. What it says? Krishna says, my dear Arjuna, one who does not follow in human life the cycle of sacrifice, thus established by the Vedas, certainly leads to a life full of sin. That means when the thing is, they are not following the rules, okay, that which is established by the Vedas. It is not something that we do out of imagination. We must understand. Okay, all these things has to be with the reference of the Vedic literature. Okay, if we don't do that, we live life full of sin. Living only for the satisfaction of the senses, such person lives in vain. That means, in other words, when we want to do things just to satisfy our senses, right? Now you can see all the photos. What are the things that we can think, like slaughtering of the cow and all these things, and like illicit sex, accumulating money which is more than this thing. No, eating, sleeping, defending, all these things. When we are not going to engage ourselves, all right, in satisfying the Lord, but we are only working hard to satisfy our own self, our own senses, that person, Krishna says, lives in vain. That means his life is wasted. He's wasting his life. Okay. Now, what happened? Now let's look at this. Nishkarma karma yoga, to set correct example. Now let's look at this verse. Karma naiva hi samsiddhim ashita janakadaya loka sangraham evapi sampashyam kartum arhasi. Text 20. What Krishna is saying? King such as Janaka. Who is King Janaka? King Janaka is the father of Janaki, or Mother Sita, or father-in-law of Lord Ram. So what he did, he said, King Janaka attained perfection. He attained perfection solely by performance of prescribed duty. He did his job as a king perfectly. Therefore, just for the sake of educating the people in general, you should perform your work. So, what Krishna is telling Arjuna, for the sake of educating the people in the future, you have to perform your work as a soldier. You cannot run away and hide. Okay, 321. Yat yat acharati shreshtas tat tat eva taro jana sayat pramanam kurute lokastat anuvartate. What it says, see, this is something very nice. Whatever action a great man perform, common men follow. And whatever standard he sets for by exemplary act, the whole world pursue. So that's why we as an elder of a family, we should set a good example for the future. So whatever things that we do, our descendant is going to follow us. That means, in other words, even the great man, that means to be a great is not a big deal. But he has to maintain that, he has to maintain his, what they call, his purity and his, because everyone start to follow him. All right. Like for instance, when we look at, okay, like instance, I met this guy. All right. He's, what is his name? He's one of the top artists in Malaysia. Okay. What is his name? Mugen Rao. I met him. He was in Ipoh. So he came and spoke to him. I told him, the only thing I told him, and he was shocked when he heard me telling this to him. He said, look here, you have such a huge follower. Or in other words, nowadays we call influencer. Make sure you behave yourself. If whatever nonsense things that you're going to do, all your followers are going to follow you. All right? And you say, yes, Anna, yes. Okay, I will do that. I say, yeah, you have the big responsibility. Being a great man is not a joke, because people will follow you. You have to set a good example. Okay? Like nowadays, all of us are getting carried away by looking at all these movie stars. All these people, they worship them like God. All these kind of nonsense things is happening. Okay? So we have to be very careful. So whatever action Krishna says, a great man perform, common man will follow. Okay? So now Krishna is saying about his life. He's saying, Na me partasti kartavyam trishu lokeshu kinchana nanavaptam avaptvavyam varta eva chakarmani. 22. What he says? O son of Pritha, there is no work prescribed for me. Krishna says that I don't have any prescribed duty because I am above all this. Within all these three planetary systems, upper, middle, lower. Okay. Nor am I in want of anything. Of course, he doesn't want anything. Nor have I need to obtain anything. Of course, he doesn't need to work to obtain anything because he's God. And Krishna says, and yet I am engaged in prescribed duty. Even I am doing my job. All right. You look here. Look at these things. All right. Krishna has 16,108 queens. Okay, you all study the Vedas. We have that much of wives. And he had 16,108 palaces for every wife. Can you see each and every palace? He lives in every palace. And he expanded himself to that 16,108. So he did his job. He did his job like visiting people, talking to people and everything. He did his job in a prescribed. So there's one story in in Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So when Narada Muni, he went and visited all the palace, he was so dumbfounded. He was so surprised to see that Krishna is expanded and he was serving in every palace without fail. So he is also performed his prescribed duty. Okay. Yadi yaham nakavarteyang jatu karmanyavatandrita mama vartmanu vartante manushya partha sarvashaha. See what Krishna says. For if I ever fail to engage in carefully performing my prescribed duty, O Partha, certainly all men would follow my path. Even God says that he is following the prescribed duty. If he fails to do so, every man will start to follow my path. Okay. So now let's look at this palace of Dwaraka, as I said just now. In that palaces, he is performing his prescribed duty in everything. In one place, he's visiting, he got some visitors. Another place, he was like talking to his children, talking to his wife. And this one palace, this, what they call, a devotee came and he started to serve the devotee, a lot of things. So he still performed his prescribed duty. Example, this story, I forgot his name. What is his name? In Tamil, we call Kushelan. What is his name? Can anyone tell? Sudama, yes. Yes, correct. This Brahmana Sudama actually is his childhood friend. They studied in the same Gurukul, where Krishna and Sudama was classmates. So one day, Sudama was so poor, he was so poor, and the wife kept telling, Krishna is the king of Dwaraka, and he's your friend. Why not go and ask for help? But he refused. But after a lot of persuasion, at last he agreed. So what happened? He went. Then after that, he said, "Oh dear wife, I cannot go empty-handed. Sometimes when this is one of that Vedic culture. When you want to visit someone, don't go empty-handed. You have to bring something, maybe some fruits or something. You shouldn't go to the house, hey, with empty-handed. It's not ethical. So he's saying, I need to go, but I don't have anything. Then he remembered he had some cheap rice. Okay, he got cheap rice. Cheap rice, what they call in Tamil, another aval. Okay, he said, okay, give me some cheap rice. So I bring it to Krishna. So what happened? He take the dhoti and tie the cheap rice, and he start walking, and takes quite some time to reach the palace of Dwaraka. And he's so poor and he's so torn. That means he's like everything is like he's extremely poor with torn dhoti and everything. So he went to the palace. He went to the palace and he told the guard. The guard looked at him. Oh, another beggar is here. He said, what do you want? He said, please tell Krishna, I'm his friend. Sudama is here. And everybody started laughing. You are Krishna's friend? Are you sure or not? He said, yes. Please go and tell him. Then after some persuasion, the guard went and told Krishna, my dear Lord, there's a guy who looks like a beggar. He's there. And he wants to see you, saying that you are his classmate and his friend. And his name is Sudama. Oh, Sudama, my classmate. So Krishna came. What happened? From the palace, he came to the front, usher him inside. So the God doesn't need to do that. That's some of the standard that he set. Usher him inside. After he came into that palace, so there's etiquette. When you see a Brahmana, what do you do? Immediately Krishna gave him a very comfortable place. You can see here, a very comfortable place. And he started to do Pada Puja. He started to wash his feet. All right. After he started to wash his feet and say something and gave him food, then after that, then he asked, how are you and everything. Then after that, Krishna knows. He said, you came empty-handed to see me? Then Sudama realized, well, yes, but no, but he started to saw the cheap rice. And the cheap rice is soaked in what they call it's been raining and it's sweat, perspiration. The cheap rice became soaked and nasty. And he said, oh, cheap rice. Krishna says, cheap rice. You brought me cheap rice. Yeah, but it's before Sudama could say anything, Krishna just grabbed it and put into the mouth. Oh, that's so nice. He took the second one and immediately Rukmani stopped him. And you know what? Rukmani said, if we're going to take the second one, we're going to give up all our fortune. Anyway, so there's a long story to cut short. Then he did that. That means he set an example how to serve a devotee. Okay, we may ask, hey, what is Brahmana? Are we talking about some caste system here? So Brahmana means devotee. Right? Anybody can become a Brahmana. It doesn't matter from where and what birth you have taken, in what family you're born. Whether you're born in this Indian family or born in a non-Indian like Chinese or whatever other family. But when you go through this purification process and all these things, okay, true that what we have learned just now, all right, when you get a higher taste, when you chant Hare Krishna, you get a higher taste and everything, you are elevated to Brahmanism. So being a Brahmana means it's not the caste system that we are talking about. Oh, you are a Brahmana. No, we are talking about anyone. Okay. Yeah, of course, he's doing prescribed duty, offering what is comfortable. It doesn't mean giving an arm and leg. Yeah, definitely, Prabhu. Of course. You give according to your means. All right. It is not that you simply do things which beyond your mean. Example, you earn what 1,000 ringgit and you give away 1,000 ringgit. It's insane. All right. Or you want to give away this, you just do according to your mean, according to your heart. Krishna is not going to see you how much money you're going to give me or how much wealth you're going to give it to me. Krishna says, how sincere are you in offering whatever things that you have to him? All right. So like that. So like that, this Brahmana. So that means the Krishna have set an example how to this thing. Okay. So he did his prescribed duty. Okay. Now, let's look at this. So in 324, okay, refuting destruction of family tradition. Okay, Krishna says, I'm going to destroy the family tradition, all these things. So this verse refute this thing. So let's look at this. Utsideyur ime loka nakur yang karma chedaham sankarasya chakartashyam upahanyam ima praja. What does it mean? If I did not perform prescribed duty, Krishna is saying, if I don't do my duty, all this world will be put into ruination. Everything will be put into ruination. Okay, it will be destroyed. I would be the cause of creating unwanted population. I'll be in charge of creating unwanted population. Varna Shankara. Okay. And I would thereby destroy the peace of the living beings. So even Krishna is saying that, telling to Arjuna, I still have to do my prescribed duty. Okay. Now, 330. Mayi sarvani karmani sanyasyadhyatma chetasa nirashir nirmamo bhutva yudasva vigata jvara. What does it mean? Oh, Arjuna, therefore, Krishna says, so, therefore, Arjuna, surrendering all your work unto me with full knowledge of me, without desires for profit and with no claims of proprietorship and free from lethargy, fight. We are all very lethargic. All right? We have some kind of lethargy. Lethargy means like very, very tired. Okay, very tired and very frustrated. Lethargic. So here, Krishna is saying, like just now, I think when Mataji asked a question, I think Vanita Mataji asked a question, is parenting a prescribed duty? Relationship in the family. Yes, that's your job as a woman. When you are a woman of a family, that's your prescribed duty to serve your husband and your children and take care of your parents. That's your job. As a man, his prescribed duty is to work and bring money to the family to make sure that protects the family from, provides everything for the family. So that's a prescribed duty. So now, okay, now let's come to this. So Krishna said, so Arjuna, so therefore Krishna is giving a conclusive, he says that, surrendering all your work unto me. What is your job? Just surrender to Krishna. Look at Krishna, I surrender my job to you. Okay. And how you have to do it? With full knowledge, not by hallucination. Not that you take, okay, there's one term my boss used to tell me before. Anyway, I don't want to use that term. So don't be in hallucination. All right. Don't simply say, okay, give it to you, Krishna, take la. No, not that. So that means, okay, I'm doing my job. Okay, like for instance, I'm a trainer, I'm a speaker, I'm a motivator, I'm a forex trader and everything. So I have that talent of speaking, I mean, with God's grace, right, to express things and with all. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my talent and I'm using it for Krishna. So what I do, I said, okay, Krishna, I have this talent, all right? So I can utilize it at least to inspire people, inspire others. Actually, I'm not inspiring you. I'm inspiring myself, right? So I don't expect anything from all of you, right? I don't expect, okay, end of the day, I become so popular, you're all going to be follow me. I'm going to be your guru. End of the day, you're going to give me a lot of money. No, I'm just doing my job, right? So when I do my job without expectation, I present this Bhagavad Gita as it is, as what I've learned from my spiritual master and also from what Srila Prabhupada did. When Srila Prabhupada went and spread this Krishna conscious movement around the world, he never expected any kind of benefit. He never expected people to like this. He just did his job. Okay. And whenever the devotees came and offered him, there's one devotee came and gave him Rolex watch. When he was in Australia, from the airport to the temple, they gave him, they went and booked Rolls Royce. And everybody was so, it became a big hoo-ha in Australia. Oh, Swamiji is traveling in Rolls Royce. But Prabhupada was never attached to any of these things. All right. When the reporter asked, Guru, Swamiji, how do you feel driving in Rolls Royce? I say, well, so what's the big deal in that? He asked. Oh, no, I say, no. People offer, I just simply take, and I'm using it for Krishna service. Because he surrendered everything to Krishna by knowledge. And what we call this thing? We call this as Yukta Vairagya. We are not asking you to give up everything and go to the jungle or give up your money, give up your family, give up this, become sannyasi, become brahmachari, right? You whatever money that you earn, give it away to Krishna. No, we are not telling you to do that. It's not recommended. It's not even mentioned in these Vedas, especially in Bhagavad Gita. So what Krishna says very clear. Mayi means me. Sarvani, all. Sarva means everything. Karmani, activity. Sanyasya, that means offering it, sacrifice it. Atma Chetasa. All right. So that means, so what he's telling is, do all these things. By what? With full knowledge, not by speculation. You want to offer this? Okay, like for instance, like what I'm doing is, okay, when my child is born, I say, okay, Krishna, this is your child, and I'm going to bring him on your behalf. The house that I'm living in, Krishna, this is the house, it's yours, and I'm going to live here and serve you. Right? The food that I'm going to eat, okay, the food that I'm taking, okay, Krishna, there's a food, okay, I prepare it very nicely for your satisfaction. I'm only going to take the remnant. All right. So I'm doing it with knowledge. That's why I say, do it with knowledge, not with speculation or hallucination. So surrendering all your works unto me. Everything that you do, surrender to Krishna. Try it. Try it, I'm telling you. Because I'm also a corporate trainer before, and I'm telling you, you're going to achieve tremendous peace of mind. How you should start doing it? First thing, wake up in the morning and look at Krishna and says, dear Krishna, I offer my day to you. I offer this day to you. Because this day is my life. When I wake up, there's a brand new life, new leaf of my life. I say, this day I'm going to give it to you, surrender to you. Whatever good or bad, I don't care, it's yours. And we do it full knowledge. And of course, without desire any profit. So Krishna, I'm giving you this, make sure that you take care of me, Gautima. No, without desire for profit. With no claims of proprietorship. That means when we don't claim for proprietorship, means that means since I've surrendered to you, okay, that means this is mine or this is this thing. No, we don't do that. Okay, don't claim for any proprietorship because nothing belongs to us. It's given to us. It's leased to us. Lease. All right. By doing that, you will be free from lethargy. You will feel free being very tired. In that consciousness, Krishna says, fight. All right. Free from all these things. When the lethargy actually starts, when we start to work, right, we go here and do job, the only thing that we can get is tired. But the lethargy starts when we are mentally tired. And the mental tiredness comes with all kind of emotional pattern that go and mix and get mixed and gets, mix things around. Oh, I'm working so hard and I bring this money back home and I'm telling my children to tuition or education, give them the best education. End of the day, look at the result. What she did. She didn't make it. Oh my God, Krishna, why? Wasted. I worked so hard, do extra time. So I given the best tuition for her. And he goes and come back, the result, fail. All my attempt, all my these things wasted. Oh my God. So when you will be very lethargic, you try to sleep, you cannot sleep, you think about it, wake up in the morning. Is it worth it? Then after that, you start to call and nag your children and say, come on, I have did this to you. End of the day, nothing comes. Is it? That's what I'm saying. So get rid of the lethargy, which is mental tiredness. And mix it, body tiredness, it creates a kind of lethargic situation. All right? And Krishna says, fight. So now, let's look at this. Arjuna's reason for not fighting, of course, compassion, no enjoyment, fear of sinful, and of course, destruction of family tradition. So how did Krishna defeat Arjuna's argument? How did he defeat? Compassion for the eternal soul is self-realization. That means when you have compassion for the eternal soul, is self-realization, is your understanding. 22:37, happiness comes from prescribed duty. When you do your job accordingly, according to your this thing, that's when the real happiness comes. And of course, he said that fight for the sake of duty. Okay? You don't fight for any expecting any result. So Varna Shankara means he's not fighting. That means Varna Shankara means unwanted population, unwanted situation. It's only happen when we start not to fight. Okay? Now, let's look at this. So now we are talking about sacrifice. So what are the sacrifice happen? First is Satya Yuga. In this entire creation, there's 4 yugas. 4 yugas means 4 millennium. Okay? In this 4 millennium, of course, it's just like a 4 season. So the first yuga is called Satya Yuga. All right? In Satya Yuga, people have a very long life. And how they achieve self-realization? Through this kind of Ashtanga Yoga meditation. Is through severe austerity. They achieve perfection by meditation. Then comes, after the Satya Yuga, there came the second millennium, Treta Yuga. In this Treta Yuga, how they achieve success? By doing big fire sacrifice. They achieve perfection. And in Dwapara Yuga, how they become success? By performing deity worship, by setting up big temples. And of course, in Kali Yuga, we don't have time for meditation. We have no time for fire sacrifice. And also we have no time for deity worship because it takes a lot of rules and regulation. So in Kali Yuga, there's one and only way, only sacrifice, Yuga Dharma. For Kali Yuga is Harir Nama Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Eva Nasti Gadir Anyataha. So in this Kali Yuga, there's only sacrifice that we can do is to congregation chanting of the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's simple. Just by chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, you achieve the highest perfection. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You use your beats to chant. You gather some people, you chant along, and you just clap and whatever it is. Just by chanting the holy name, you attain perfection. It's not only in Vedas, but also if you look at even in Quran and also in Bible, it says, call upon the name of the Lord. That's why they have tasbih or rosary. They keep the tasbih or rosary. They chant the name of the Lord. It's prescribed for Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga, there's no way we can do meditation. There's no way we can do big fire sacrifice because we can't get a proper priest to do that. And also we have no way to do big temple worship. Cannot. The ingredient must be very pure. Nowadays you see that's a ghee. When you buy a ghee, behind that it says only for prayer, not for consumption. Can you imagine? The ghee that we're going to use is only for prayer, but not for consumption. That means it's so low grade. And we're going to do for sacrifice, it doesn't work. Because for fire sacrifice, you must have the first class ingredient. Okay? So that's the thing. Of course, all this we discuss as we go on. So as I said just now, we have gone through the total species of life. There are 8.4 million species. All right. In 8.4 million species, in aquatics, we have 900,000 types of fish and aquatic animal. Among the trees and plants, there is 2 million trees and plants. Among the bees, insect, reptile, there are 1.1 million. Among the human being and humanoids, there are a total of 400,000 types. And among the mammals, the four-legged mammal animal, there are 3 million types. And among the bird species, there are 1 million types. And imagine we have passed through all these species. We have passed through 8.4 million species. We have passed through everything. When you see an insect, I have gone through that. When I see a bee, I have gone through that. When I see a fly that sits on the stool, I have gone through that. When I see the king, I have gone through that. Everything around us, we have gone through. And Radhanath Maharaj, one of my Siksha Guru, which I really adore him, he said that inspired me. He says, it took me 8.4 million lifetime to do what I am doing now. So that means it takes 8.4 million lifetime to do what it means. When you are here sitting and listening to Bhagavad Gita, just count your blessing. How blessed you are. I'm not saying I'm not giving an inspirational talk. And I'm not speculating. This is what Vedas. As we go on, I'm going to introduce one by one to claim what I am saying with evidence. And all of you are super fortunate. There are so many, even like today also we see 50 people have signed up to attend the course. How many is here? Only 12. You are the most fortunate one. And after that, when I share that video, I wonder how many people are going to watch. Maybe they just open, just one, boring. Like that. So that means we must always remember, after so many things, after so many millions of lifetime. So now we have that opportunity to know God. So now this is what you have perfected, all that, whatever things that you're supposed to have. All right. So that means after passing through all these kind of species, right? When you look at this, all varieties of species, now we are a man. We finally get the chance to know God. You know? Okay. So, and at last, I would like to say, please chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This is what the Karma Yoga we are talking about. Don't expect anything by chanting this Mahamantra. So when I chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, will I get money? When I do this, will I get? No, do it out without even expecting. Just do it as a sacrifice to Vishnu. Just do it. Don't think about anything. Oh, if I do this, I get this. No, don't ever think about anything. Okay, that's what we have learned. So the conclusion of this is how we're going to sacrifice, how we're going to act in Karma Yoga without expecting anything, is simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's not easy, but it's worth it. Chant every day. So take that RDC formula. Okay, the RDC formula is read Bhagavad Gita daily, because I strongly believe in that. Through that RDC formula, we start to see big transformation happen. Okay, that's one Mataji from Nagari, from Surumban, who went through a very severe situation. She went through which is traumatizing situation, very traumatizing. But she has taken this formula and she started to chant Hare Krishna every day. She just cannot. And once she just called and spoke to me, she was so devastated. And I said, no one can save you. And no one, no one can harm you if Krishna protects you. All right. In this kind of awkward situation, you have no other choice but to chant Hare Krishna, because only Krishna can protect you. And she took my advice. And after she started chanting, she started to experience huge transformation. The big problem, life-threatening issue, just disappeared. Just disappeared. All right. And now I believe she's having a wonderful life. That is the power. Read Bhagavad Gita. If you don't have a Bhagavad Gita, please tell me. I will send to you one. Okay, don't worry about money. Oh, I don't have, no, don't ever think, oh, I need to take my time. You have no time. And we have so generous people who have came forward to donate. Make use of that opportunity. All right. Get the book. Get the book. You just tell me tomorrow itself, I pack and send to you by courier. The following day, you should get it. All right. So get the thing, read Bhagavad Gita daily, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. You will start to see a huge transformation. And at the same time, to further transform, distribute Bhagavad Gita. Now you understand why Bhagavad Gita is very important. All right. Like some people ask, what happens if I give the Bhagavad Gita and people don't read? It's okay. Don't worry about that. You must understand. I always tell everyone, Bhagavad Gita is like a time bomb. You set the time bomb. When somebody just go through, I just put in the, and suddenly say, oh, well, what is that book? When that person touches the book, palm, things, transformation will start to happen. Okay. Yes, Prabhu, you raised your hand.
Yes, Prabhu, I just want to get a better understanding of prescribed duty. And what I can think of is that, like a student, he goes to school, and of course, he tries to become within the top 10 now of the class.
Okay.
But suppose this student, no matter how sincere he tries, he always falls within the last 5. That means always last boy, always. So, but this student tries very sincerely to understand, but the lessons is too much for him. He just cannot absorb. So he does his prescribed duty, but it's not to that mark. He can only attain last boy or second last boy, whatever, that the last 5 of in the class. So this, he sincerely offering this effort, but as I understand it, even this small contribution is embraced or accepted with love by Krishna. Is my understanding correct, or how? Yeah.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu, for the question. And because I also do this program, I'm a superstar student. I do this program for the students. And how we're going to apply Bhagavad Gita is what he said, that being a student, that his job is prescribed duty, and he's doing it, and but still he can't excel, and he still remain the last 5 or something like that. Okay, so as what we have understood from here, when we are trying to do things in a very, so in other words, what is it? We just do our job. Okay, we just do. Example, what is the best way to study is when we have peace of mind. Okay, when the peace of mind will come, when we are very relaxed and calm. When the relaxation and calmness will come, when we don't have anything that gives us pressure. When we are under pressure, we don't have peace of mind, we don't have this expected. So the student, the best way for the student to study, I mean, in other words, he just do not need to worry what's the outcome going to come. He just do his job, just studying, and surrender the effort of that education to Krishna, and just go on doing it. You will see the difference. You can see a very good different transformation. Because when we are like, in other words, in like what the Chinese call kanchiong, when we become kanchiong, oh, the exam is coming, oh, why I'm studying, I cannot understand, why this thing is not entering my head. When we become kanchiong, or in kanchiong in Malay, what we call it, in Tamil, in English, kelang kabut. In other words, in Malay, we call kelang kabut, right? So when we are always kelang kabut, and we are always in that kind of situation, in any attempt, whether it's education, whether it's even in relationship, even in anything, you end up getting adverse result. You'll get the opposite result. You can't excel. So the best way for the student, yes. So what I used to tell the student, okay, I used to do this class for students. I say, now first thing you must understand, you are a student. You have nothing else but studying. Being a student, my prescribed duty is to study, and I got nothing else to do other than education. That's one thing. Second thing, so what is my environment that I should set for studies? That means like some people who set a goal, okay, I want to achieve, okay, I want to become a first-class student, I want to strike all A's, straight A's, and all this. That's expectation. Don't have that expectation. All right. When you look outside, they say, no, you have to set your goals. You have to be a straight A student. You have to set your goals. You work towards your goal. Actually, it's going to create tremendous stress. Okay. So when during my session, I used to tell, don't set any goals. What is the ultimate what they call destination? End of the day, what do you want to be? You want to be a straight A student. Yes. In order to be a straight A student, the basic core principle is for you to have peace of mind. You have to be very relaxed and calm. All right. Like for instance, like when we saw that, okay, I don't want to take that example. It's out of the topic. So now, so the student, what they need to do? Okay, they surrender the result to Krishna and they study accordingly. Okay, but don't expect the result. Whether I'm going to make it, I don't make it, I just leave it to Krishna and I just do my job. Okay, the rest, whatever the result, Krishna will look after it. So when we can do like this, Prabhu, we actually basically remove the tension in the student and they'll be more calm and composed. That calm and composure is very, very important. Okay, Prabhu. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Prabhu. This is very helpful. Thank you.
And does it make sense?
Oh, yes. It's just that I thought, without being disrespectful or what, I thought it was too good to be true to a person can only offer, let's say, 50 cents, and whereas his other people are giving like 50 ringgit and all. And naturally, that person will think, oh my God, I'm only offering 50 cents. I'm useless. I'm hopeless. I don't give an arm and a leg. I mean, giving 50 ringgit is an arm and leg for this person who gives 50 cents. But this explanation tells me that even your 50 cents within your capacity, within your capability, will lead you to the attainment of perfection.
Yeah.
Or rather, in Krishna's terms. Yeah. Thanks, Prabhu. Yeah.
Prabhu, you just remind me one of the great things happened in my life as a devotee. When you talk about 50 cents, I joined this Hare Krishna movement in 93 when I was 15 years old. My whole family used to like against me. And at one particular moment, we were doing this Sankirtan. Sankirtan means we are going to the street, try to distribute some books and everything. That time, I went to a place, my friends, he's my junior. We were all in hockey team. He's my junior. I went to his house. I knocked his door. Then that boy came out. I said, hey, what are you doing? I said, I'm doing some distributing of books. Well, I have no time to read. I said, if you want, you can give some donation. And you know what? He gave me 50 cents. When you say about 50 cents, it reminds me. He gave me only 50 cents donation. And after I took the donation, I took the money and I just thought to myself, this fellow is such a miser, very, very rich guy. Such a miser gave me 50 cents. Then I'll tell myself, no, he gave it for Krishna and I have no proprietorship over this. Hey, why the fellow give you that much? Even so, I took the 50 cents. A week later, he died in an accident. All right. He passed away in an accident. And that time, his father and my father were colleagues. So he told my father, can you ask your son to come and do some prayer or some bhajan or kirtan? Then I called the temple devotee, come for that prayer. And you know what happened, Prabhu? We were there. The whole entire funeral, we were sitting and chanting Hare Krishna with kirtan. Then after that, we followed him to that crematorium. In that crematorium, once we set the fire, once the father set the fire on the body, and all the devotees sat around him and we were singing and singing and singing. Almost half of the thing got cremated. I'm telling you, this is something very amazing that people used to, whenever they go for a funeral, they just sing in the funeral, that's it, done. They just chant Hare Krishna there and go off. But when you see in India, sometimes when the devotee dies, when they take them after the funeral, they go to the crematorium and they were putting a blaze and they were sitting. It was such a fantastic moment. The father, for the father is the only child, he was so devastated, but he was so transformed. Then I used to tell that 50 cents that he gave, with full sincerity, Krishna ensured right? At that time we had tulasi, all the things that I never knew. That means you have to cremate the tulasi, dry tulasi, so that when the body is burned, the smell of tulasi will, and somehow or other, it was such a fantastic experience. Another example is when I first joined, the temple, they said that there's one what they call an American Swami going to come and visit Malaysia, visit our Ipoh center. I said, American Swami? I said, what such thing? Because we thought like Wasyong, you only see Indian or Chinese. The Chinese Buddhist monk or the Indian Wasyong, right? Wasyong, they call it a Wasyong. I thought American Swami. He said, no, you should see him. Really? Yeah. I was thinking, wow, it's amazing. Okay, I would like to see him. Then what happened? Then everybody was busy preparing and everything. And I was thinking, I don't know what to do. Then I saw a group of friends. They said, what do you plan to do? I said, let's go out and distribute some books. Oh, you want to distribute? Okay, I'll follow you. So when I went there, suddenly they just dropped me in one place. They just went. I don't know where. I don't know what to do. Then I just went and knocked doors. Knock, knock, knock. And then they said, then one old lady came. That's the first experience distributing, doing Sankirtan. And I said, Auntie, Aso, Wasyong, ada mari tahu, Wasyong. Siapa Wasyong? Ada satu Wasyong besar, mari. You mau mari kan? Tokong. Tak boleh lah. Tak apa. You ada 10 sen, you kasih saya. Ini duit saya kasih sama dia. So I use the 10 cents, I give it to him. So that means you are engaging, you are serving the Wasyong. You tanya 10 sen lah. Yes, you suka lah berapa you mau kasih lah. You know, tapi saya mau dah, saya ingat dah, saya mau panggil you, I want to invite you to the temple, tapi you tak boleh datang mah. Tak apa, you kasih saya 10 sen, saya kasih dia. So at least you punya duit kasih dia, bagus. Oh, ya kak. Because they thought it's a new kind of begging, you know. You come there begging for. Then you give 10 cents. Like that, I went to all the houses collecting 10, 20 cent, 10, 20 cent. So when the Guru Maharaj, Jayapataka Swami, when he came to Ipoh, when I was so shocked to see him, such a big, tall American Swami. I said, wow. First time I'm seeing an American man, a Swamiji, you know. Then he came, and he came to that, then I wanted to offer him that, but before me, I saw one guy was giving notes, right? I think he got, I don't know how many notes, a few hundred, like he was giving dakshina. So he was giving dakshina. Then I was standing right behind him. I was thinking, oh my God, that fellow is giving so much money, and I only got, what, in that coffee, that plastic, I only got coins. Before, I thought I want to turn back and go, and Simisara Prabhu just pushed me inside. Now your turn. Then I went in, then I looked at him, said, well, Maharaj, sorry, that time I don't call it Swamiji. I brought some coins, you know, I went and meet people and collected some money. And this is some coins I brought for you. Then I just put it on the table. Then suddenly look at the coins. Wow! Thank you so much. Then I was thinking, you know, this Swami is joking. You know, before me, the guy came and gave notes, 50 notes. I only give coins which is worth maybe, what, 11 ringgit or 12 ringgit, all coins. And he just got up, he came and gave me a big hug. And says, thank you, just do this and nothing else. So what I'm trying to tell you here is, when you look at all these great personalities, or Krishna and all this, they are not going to see how much money you're going to give it to me. It's how thoughtful are you, right? Even, that's why I'm saying, the 50 cents saved that boy. In other words, because he's had a very young death. It's only when I think I was 16, means he was 15. Right? Say if you're going to have a life, maybe you're going to live up to 50 years old. That means you're going to have a life without subtle body. You know, that's out of the topic, another story. But just that 50 cents. All right? So it doesn't matter. Oh, we do not need to sacrifice. It's in your heart, because you have Krishna in your heart and it inspires. All right? Krishna knows you give. It can never be measured money terms.
No sound, Prabhu.
Yeah, the
Hare Krishna, I'm so sorry. I think I got disconnected. You all can hear me?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Thank you very much for sharing, Prabhu. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. No, what I'm trying to tell you, okay, we just going to wrap up here. I'm saying that whatever things that we have done today, we have read, okay, what are the things that we have understood today, we just offer it to our forefathers. So whoever it is, our forefather, hope that all of them benefit from this. That's how today we call Pinda Dana. So now you're going to offer whatever merit that you got by reading and studying Bhagavad Gita today, we offer it to Krishna. With that, thank you so much. And we see again. Yes, Chang Prabhu, you want to say something?
Yeah. One last question is that I think it's quite important in the sense that how the work maintain one's body and soul together, because now we are having this kind of thing. So it's sometimes body and soul is like a spiritual warfare. So how is it people are facing a lot of problems, including even Christianity also have this kind of big problem like that. Yeah.
You're talking about warfare, war, the religion war.
Body and soul had like a spiritual warfare like that. I mean, according to this Christian, they have all this kind of. So how that they can come together and maintain together, body and soul.
Okay, it's a very nice question, but I will pause the thing because it's going to be social media, so we better don't speak it openly. Okay, so with that, we end the session now. It's my great pleasure to speak to all of you. And of course, thank you very much for giving me a good time, ample time to express myself, to express what I've learned and understood. So please do understand whatever I've said is not anything, it's not from my own opinion. It's what I've learned from my spiritual master and also the Parampara. If I've offended anyone, kindly forgive me. And again, we're going to meet tomorrow morning with chapter 3. Of course, that morning classes tomorrow morning, chapter 3. And tomorrow night, we're going to do chapter 4. Okay, don't miss the program. And of course, encourage everyone that you think that you have recommended, ask them all to come and join this program. And of course, everyone will benefit. With that, Vancha Kalpatrubhischa Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah. Hare Krishna. Good night. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Hare Krishna, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu.